everyone, I am Ananya Verma. Welcome to ITMI TV. Today we have with us a very prominent and reputed business journalist who started his career in 1995 as a reporter in Amar Ujala. He is an associate editor at The Hindu Business Line. So, we are very glad to have you here, sir. It's such a good experience for us to have you here.
Thank you.
It's like we have a lot to learn from you, and today we are going to do so.
Yeah, thank you.
So, we'll start the interview now. So, first thing is that you have the 25 years of experience in the media industry. So, tell us about your journey and all your experiences with all the struggles and achievements.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. And it's not 25 years, it's 28 years now. Oh. So, I started my career as an intern with Press Trust of India. And it was really a tough time at this moment because there were very few openings and there were too many students coming for the job. So, it was a struggle and it was a tough time, but I never lost the hope of getting a job. And that was the reason which prompted me or which forced me to continue with my struggle. So I got my first job almost after 18 months of struggle, and after knocking each and every door of various organizations with my CV and of course the articles which got published in various newspapers. So, but the best thing was that I managed to get entry into this field purely on the basis of whatsoever I have learned during my struggle period. It was not something that somebody gave my recommendation to someone and said that please employ him, he will be a good asset or something like that. So the first challenge for me was to how to prove that I'm really worth for the job. So I was given say 3-month probation or 6-month probation kind of thing. And during those 6 months, I had to prove that I'm really worth for the job. So that was another thing which really, what you can say, forced me to do something which is more than 100%. That was the first thing in the struggle period. The second thing was that how to learn. I mean, although I was a postgraduate in economics, but writing on business and economics was not so easy, and especially in Hindi, because the content was mostly available in English only. So writing in Hindi was really difficult, and I did my study in English medium, both my graduation and the post-graduation and again the graduation. So converting from English to Hindi was a challenge for me. So most of the time, the first big challenge was that how to get a good Hindi. Good Hindi means what? Something which people can easily understand. It was not a something what we call as the Sanskritized Hindi, because Sanskritized Hindi was something which people were never willing to read in a newspaper or to watch on television. At that time, television was very small one. So I was mainly working for the print media. So during my internship period as well as my first job, which was purely a contract job for 3 months. So during those 3 months, I had to prove that I can do this job. And I tried my best and I got the opportunity. And that was the story of my struggle. The best part of struggle was that it gave me so many lessons. And I learned a lot because rejection is something which always inspire you to do something extra. So when my article was rejected by say one newspaper, I just thought that why it has been rejected or how I can make it much more better. So it was not something that I said, no, I'm not going to write anything. You have rejected me. I'm not coming back to you. So I again went to that person. So in one particular newspaper, I don't want to take the name of the newspaper. In one particular newspaper, they rejected my article for 9 times. But finally, on the 10th, they accepted it and they paid me 250 rupees. So that was in 1994, and that time 250 rupees was a big amount. So that's the story of my struggle.
So you're inspiration to many, trust me when I say that. So let's move to our second question. And second question is that business and finance is a beat that people do not usually go for. So what do you think is the reason behind it? And also, please guide us on how to propel in this particular field.
Okay. First of all, why people are not reading business and financial news? Because of the jargons. If you read a story on a business page, or if you're watching a business channel, or if you're reading a business newspaper, the first challenge is to get the real meaning of the story. And why we are not getting the real meaning? Because of too many jargons are there. And when too many jargons are there, you simply lose your interest in the story. If you are not able to get the sense in the first paragraph itself, you simply say, no, I'm not going to read this. The headline is very, very, very tough to understand. Then you are not going to read the story. So people are not reading business news because the way we are writing the story, the way we are presenting the story, it is not something for a common man to understand. Now, the why common man is not able to understand, because the financial literacy in India is just 27%. So if you are thinking of financial literacy of say something around 27%, that means not even 1% out of 3 is in a position to understand the business thing. So why he will read that? And another important thing is that most of the people think that when you are talking about business and financial journalism, it is only about the stock market, which is not the correct thing. There are a number of other areas also which is part of the business and financial thing. So this is the area where we have to work. That means how we can go for the de-jargonization. So from jargonization to de-jargonization, then we will be able to bring people to the news. You must have observed that at this moment there are a number of business news channels. And out of those business news channels, 3 of the business news channels are in Hindi or in vernacular. And their viewership is almost 10 times of the English one. Why 10 times on? Because people want to know in their own language. So if you are able to write the story in the language which people understand, then people will start reading. Now the second part of your question, that what we should do. The most important thing is that we should read the papers. We should read the magazines. Unfortunately, because of the mobile phone which you have in your hand, we simply go on the screen and we look for the content which is available on the screen. We are not going beyond the screen. We don't want to give trouble to our fingers to flip the page. Right. So if we are not reading, we are not getting the sense what is the meaning of this particular thing, or what more I can add to this line, or what more I can get to add to the news space. So my simple advice: read. If you are reading more, then you will be able to write more. And if you are able to write more, you will be able to write in a simple language. And that is what a consumer is interested in knowing that.
Very right, sir. So how important is it to understand finance and know about the economy? What impact does it have in the daily life of people?
Okay. So since you belong to a generation which is called millennial generation, you all are interested in money, right? So one way of getting the money is the cheap and the easy source. And the other one is that how to do some extra effort to get money. Please remember, money is not something which is a cheap one. Second, money does not come easily. You have to make an extra effort. If you are able to understand the money, and if you are deploying the money to work, then only you will be able to earn money. Otherwise, no, you will lose the money. Just like what I was telling you about the stock market. People go to stock market just saying, I can earn this much money in just 1 day or 2 days. It is not possible. So to know about the stock market, you have to invest in the stock market. You need to know the stock market. What is stock market? How does it work? I mean, what are the mechanisms available in the stock market? What is the investment thing? Like when I say Demat account, many of the people are not able to understand the Demat account because they haven't heard the word called dematerialization. And Demat account is the first step for the stock market. So can we start from A? Rather than we start from apple, we need to start from A. If we are starting from A, B, C, then we can think about apple, bat and cat. And then if we are able to find the apple, bat and cat, then we can say a doctor can help you to, an apple can help you to keep the doctor away. So there you frame the structure in a very sequential way, rather than just jumping from one point to other point. To understand the business and finance thing, we need to start from very basic thing. There we need to give writings in such a manner so that people can understand the basics. And there, again, I will repeat the word, de-jargonization is the key.
Okay. So, this is a question which comes from a lot of people that do you think that people coming from different educational backgrounds can excel in business journalism?
I can give you example of all my bosses. Throughout my 28 years of career, all my bosses who were the business editor, they were not from the economics background, either from science or from humanity or even in humanity, one was from the history, one was from the chemistry. He did his graduation in chemistry. The current boss, my current boss, is a law graduate. So none of my boss is from the economics background. So please leave this thing out of your mind that you need to be graduate or postgraduate in economics to become a business journalist. Like if you want to become a sports journalist, you don't need to be a sportsman. If you want to become a crime reporter, you don't need to be a criminal. And if you want to report on political, you don't need to be a politician. So why, when we talk about business and financial journalists, only economics people can, or somebody who is graduated, who has been a graduate or postgraduate in economics can become? No. It all depends upon your interest. If you have a deep interest in any subject, you can become a journalist at that particular field.
Okay. So please tell us about your experience with ITMI.
This is, I think, almost 7 years, I believe, I have been coming to this institute. Every batch is a challenge for me, and every batch is also an opportunity for me. Why a challenge and opportunity? Because every time I find students with different backgrounds, with a different kind of thought process, with different kind of perspective. And I have to reframe my thinking, reframe my entire deliberations according to the students. Every batch is a new challenge for me. When I say opportunity, because every batch give me opportunity to learn few things, learn new things. Like many of the times I come to know that students want to read about this thing. Like when I started coming to ITMI, at that time crypto was not the subject. Just after COVID, crypto became a very hot topic. So I had to prepare for the crypto. So that was an opportunity for me to learn more and more about the crypto. So my experience with ITMI is that challenge is there, but equally important, opportunities are there. And opportunities to reskill myself, upskill myself. Because if I reskill and upskill myself, that will help me to become a better professional.
So that leads us to the last question of this interview, and that is, what is your message to the youth, to the aspiring journalists of India?
Simple. Read and read. People have lost the habit of reading. If you want to do something in this field, the most important thing is reading, and try to go for the diversified opinion. In journalism, what we call as the viewpoint plurality is very critical. So if you are able to gather views from various sources, from various bodies, you will be in a position to arrive at a much better conclusion rather than something which is a biased one if you are reading just one or two newspapers. So simple thing is read, and read as many sources as you can.
You heard, sir, and this is time that we shall bid bye to him. And it was a wonderful experience with him. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And we really appreciate you for taking time for us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, sir. Thank you.